Obie Howard, Records. Work on space management, basically the building floor plans and space data.
And I'm Jay Marianowitz from Maps and Records. I handle all the underground utility drafting and the civil base map drafting and all the CAD work, basically.
Yeah. So what we want to do is just kind of go over this tool, give you some information on it, some examples of how we can use it or how it can be used to see if it's a benefit to you. I guess one thing that would help out is to maybe get an idea of how many people in here are using AutoCAD on drafting with AutoCAD. Just a couple people. Anyone have a need to view AutoCAD files?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then viewing would be on the you could do it on through a web browser on your laptop or computer or mobile device. So either way, most of the time will be spent in the browser tool, and then towards the end, Jay will go over the iPad. All right. So I'll just try to cover some various topics and hopefully kind of get you interested in something, or maybe you'll see something that might be a benefit of use to you. All right. That's kind of the goal here. See if it's useful.
Magnesium is really a combination of all of the bullets.
I am in presentation mode here, right?
And where you can sort of encourage a lot of those.
How come the arrow key's not working? There we go. That was weird. Okay, so just a quick outline. I think I'll spend most of my time looking at the monitor here, but we're just going to go over what it is, maybe why use it, and what you can do. Going to show you how you can link your Box account if you do have Box, or if you end up using Box to put in files. If you have an architect or a contractor, someone that loads up AutoCAD files in Box, which is a free account, you can actually link to that through this AutoCAD WS site and view the files through there, which is pretty cool. And then again, we'll show the mobile app and hopefully have some time for questions, which Jay will be answering for you. All right. So what is it? Why use it? You can kind of see the bullet items there. One thing for us is I like to be able to store digital information instead of the hard copy, especially like field notes and stuff. It's a great way to kind of archive it. I can then pull it up anywhere I am. I can store it in Box, or I can even store it in AutoCAD WS. It's a little tough when I have a building folder and I want to look at some renovations or some notes of dimensions that were taken out there at some point in time. Right now, I got to come into the office and look at it wherever, if I'm out in the field.
And just real quick, for our group, the mobile device is great. It allows us to take our AutoCAD files out into the field, do some quick checking. We can redline real easily out there. We'll show you that. And we can send notes to ourselves or others about things we find out in the field. Mm-hmm. Plus, it gives us the opportunity to take our entire base map and all of our utilities into the field with us.
Okay. And the web browser tool, it's free. You don't download anything onto your machine. It's very easy to create an account. Just your name, your email address, and a password, and you got your account created. All right. I think I kind of went through and talked about these things here. You can have one thing that's nice is multiple people can work on the same file at the same time. So Jay can have his mobile device. I can be sitting in the office. He can just draw, put down some dimensions or whatever. I have that same plan up, and I can see the information that he's drafted. I can even just write in some text, big red text or whatever, and say no way or whatever, and communicate that way. Okay, that's kind of nice. There is a timeline for version control in AutoCAD WS. Kind of show that, so you can actually look at the changes that have happened over time, right? And you can upload new versions, so you don't lose old information.
And that is one of the things that there's a difference between having your drawing in Box and in AutoCAD WS. Those are two different cloud servers. If it's in Box, you can't use the timeline. You also can't use the share function. The drawing actually has to be in AutoCAD WS. So that's a difference right there.
All right. Whoa, I guess there's a demo coming up. Okay, you want to talk us through this here?
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yeah, so basically what we're going to show you is how to go into Box. You've got to create, I don't know, have most of you gone into Box at this point and used that? Well, inside of Box, there's a place to do a separate password for external software. We're going to go in and do that. We're going to set that up. And then we're going to go into AutoCAD WS and show you how to create your login and everything there.
Mm-hmm.
So to link back to Box. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now.
Oh, real quick, who hasn't used Box yet? Okay, good to know. So just a 30-second rundown. Box is free. As a Stanford employee, you log in with your SUNET ID, you get 15 gigabytes of space. You can use your personal email address, and you can upload files to store there, pictures or whatever. You're going on vacation. You don't want to grab a bunch of stuff with you, show someone, so you can maintain files in Box. It's a good backup too. I wouldn't recommend storing maybe financial or Social Security numbers up in there, but anyway.
And then Box has also been identified as Stanford University approved for like critical data, secure data.
Yeah.
So they've already gone through it and decided that that's a safe place to store your data.
Confidential level, right?
Level.
On the handouts, we do have links. We will put this is being recorded. This will be up on the Tech Talks website with other links as well, and I'll go through some of the locations where they have YouTube videos you can watch on how to use this stuff as well, okay? So stanford.box.com is your gateway to get into Box. If I'm already logged in with my SUNET ID, it won't ask me, otherwise it will.
So that's a good detail about trying to manage the flow of life separate from it. I like that.
And so once you're in Box, there's a tool icon up in the top, and Adobe's going to click on that, and then you go into your account settings. Once you go into your account settings, at the very bottom of it, there's a place for creating an external password. This is definitely a password you're going to want to remember because we're going to need it once we go into AutoCAD WS. So set that. You can reset it. You know, once it's set, if you don't like that password, you can go back into Box. You can reset it. You will just need to reset it again in AutoCAD WS.
Just going to go back to my folders here. All right, so I set that password.
So that's all you got to do in Box at this point. And so we're going to go into AutoCAD WS. And that's just AutoCADWS.com. So again, for the web version, there's no download or anything. It's strictly on a web server. It's a web service. And so you can, at this point, just create an account, and you're good to go. So.
How about I click on that Create Account real quick before we show the linking to the Box file, because it is pretty straightforward. It's so straightforward, yeah.
So it asks for your email, first name, last name. Again, a password for AutoCAD WS. This would be the password you would need to get into AutoCAD WS. So
I'm not going to create the account because I already have one, and I happen to be logged in already.
So once you're logged in,
no, they don't need to be the same. No, not for logging in here. Okay.
So Adobe's going to go to Drawings on the sidebar. Are you on Drawings?
Yes, I am.
And he's going to go to the Connect pull down. So he connects. No.
Am I?
Are you logged in? He's not logged in. So once Adobe logs in,
I logged out.
we're going to go to the Connect pull down.
Real quick, I have Box already loaded, so I'm just going to delete this folder. Delete. It didn't delete my folders in Box.
And he's going to hit connect, and just on the pull down on the side, you grab box.com. You put in the username and password that you created in Box for the external service.
Basically, it's your student ID at Stanford, and then that password I just put in.
And you can name the folder whatever you want at this point.
I'll keep it as Box. Connected, and it should refresh with my Box.
So now if he double clicks on that, he's seeing all of his files that he's uploaded to Box.
Otherwise, I mean, you know, I've been.
Those are all available now.
Yeah. What someone shared with me too,
Or
right?
someone shared.
So here's the base map folder. If I go over to my Box account, I do have, it's the same thing, base map folder. So with Box, you can't view the DWG files. So there's a lot you can do with Box, and maybe Box will support your need, right? Maybe you have a need of just transferring files or whatever. But if you want to view DWG files, take dimensions, make PDFs of them, whatever, then AutoCAD WS is a nice tool for that. All right? So
you're going to
down in. All right. So I'm just going to go over through some of the navigation on this and what's available. All right. If there's any questions at any time, go ahead and raise your hand. So there are 3 sections on the left. You have messages, drawings, and an editor. Messages, basically you have anything that Autodesk decides to put up here, some information. They have a new release, a design feed. I can see here that Jay sent me a PDF file. I can click on that, get some more information over here, and just tracks basically the most recent files here. Not too much more on the messaging. Drawings, this is, you can create folders. You can share folders with people. For example, there's Jocelyn, she's in the School of Medicine Facilities group over there, and she has a need to view some floor plans. I created this folder, shared it with her. Whatever I drop in there, she has access to. And I can set that share. She can be read-only. She can actually edit those drawings. So this is just basically my work area here. Create folders. It's just pretty straightforward. And then the drawing editor. This is where you can annotate, take dimensions. Actually, this is where I'll spend the next 5-7 minutes or 10 minutes or so, and just go through some of the navigation. So this drawing is just part of what everyone's going to get when you create an account. I'm going to close the tab down here, close this drawing, takes me back here. I'm going to go ahead and open up another drawing. There's many ways to open it. I just double click in this case. If you're familiar with AutoCAD, the couple of people that are familiar, there is a command line. So if you're familiar with the zoom command, you can type in zoom and then pick a corner and pick another corner and zoom in. AutoCAD also has the shortcuts, right? So you have L for line. I type in L, hit the space bar, and I'm in line command mode, right? You can also just close that if you don't want to see it. Turning it on and off is down here. All right. Some of the other tools down at the bottom are basically our pan, zoom in, zoom extents. You can snap. Basically, if you want to get a corner of a wall or something when you're drawing information, or copying a door, place a door somewhere. Turn on the ortho mode. And also, like AutoCAD, ortho is the F8 key on and off, and the snap is the F3 key. You hover over here, you can see that indicated. There are different views. I have model space view. I also have a base view, which shows me the title block, so I can see this information.
And so if you receive a set of drawings that have different sheets, you'll be able to see all those sheets. So you can be either in the model space view where you do editing, or you can go to the different layouts or sheets and look at those that way too.
This file has been deleted? What is that? I don't believe you. The wheel on my mouse can zoom in and zoom out. There's also right-click features. Pan. If I'm going over this too fast, the recording will be up so you can kind of watch it, and there are YouTube videos, but and I'm not sure what's going on with that. There. So on the home, you have save. I can do a save as also. I can do some work on here, save it as a different name. I can download the file. This is kind of nice. Sometimes, let's say you get some DWG files and you want to view them. Well, you can just upload them here and view them, or you put them in Box. You can also view them here. But maybe you want to create a PDF file for someone. You don't have AutoCAD installed. You can just open them up in here. You can open them up in here and just do the download and download it as a PDF file. I did do this just a little bit earlier to watch the time. It took a little bit longer than I'd like it to go through here, but I can actually, if I drop to my desktop, open up the PDF file, and this is the one that I created from AutoCAD WS. The first thing I noticed is it's all black and white, no colors, but you zoom in, it looks pretty good, and you have layer control, so you can turn off. Where's my doors? You can turn layers on and off. It's kind of cool. But I thought that was a nice feature. Measure properties. You can change the layers, change colors. Drawing, you can make a cloud. Just go around here, make a cloud. You can annotate. Put a little leader line here. Put something in here, say the door removed. I'm on the floor plan side, but if you're outside civil information, outdoor structures, parking lots or something, if you have grids, anything like that, there's various tools you can use here. Dimension, you can just write some text. Drawing, you can draw polylines, whatnot. You can actually, I do tend to use the quick Z spacebar for zooming in, and then a right click for panning around. But if you want to place something, you can grab an object, you can offset that object, maybe 5 feet from that wall over here, and I have this indication here. Maybe I want to place a door in there, so I could draw a line, turn my snap on and my ortho on. Hold on a second here. Ortho on, thank you. Grab it in here. You can copy this, rotate it around, put the door in, draw some text, right? I'm not going to spend the time to go through all that. I think you guys understand. So, back up here, some of the other tools. Well, I think I'd just if you guys are interested in this, I'll let you just go in and play with it.
One thing we kind of found with this is it's a real nice basic AutoCAD. So if you've never used AutoCAD before, it's a great way to get introduced to it. The commands are pretty simple. They're straightforward. There's not very many toolbars like in full-blown AutoCAD. It doesn't take up any space on your computer. So it's a great way to get started, or if you just want to view some drawings, we found that it's a great way to just look at something. You don't have to wait for AutoCAD to start up. You don't have to go through that whole process.
You started drawing from scratch in this program, or only use stuff that's already been created?
You can definitely start a drawing from...
Oh, I think you have to use drawings.
You have to...
Yeah, the drawings have to already exist.
But you could have an empty drawing.
Yeah, you could upload an empty drawing.
You could upload an empty drawing as sort of a template.
Yeah.
You could have just an empty drawing that's always in there, and then after you draft something, do a save as something else. So if you were drawing. Right. So you could definitely, that's a workaround for that.
You can select all the objects and erase them and start your own drawing that way as well. But all right, so there are, here's the various layouts. Google Maps, you want to talk a little bit about Google
Yeah,
Maps?
I played around, go ahead and click on it and show them how it sort of starts up. I was playing around with this a little bit, and of course I went for the gusto. I tried to place the entire Stanford lands on Google Maps here. Found it pretty cumbersome, found it hard to work with, found it very difficult to find. You've got to pick a starting point on the map and that compares to something in Google Earth, and then you've got to scale your drawing to Google Earth, and found it pretty cumbersome. It might be something that works well if you're trying to match a floor plan to a particular spot on campus, or if you're trying to match, in your case, maybe a parking lot to a particular spot on campus. But even though our drawings are all in the correct coordinate system, it does not automatically overlay. You've got to set that all up in the drawing.
Turn off the door.
And the max Adobe you were saying in...
was it 250?
I think it's 250 megabytes for data you can upload. And so
Per file.
Per file. A question we got was, can you have our aerials up here? So the campus aerial is 288 megabytes, so that would be a no.
And then here's the timeline also. You can see come on.
So it's
We lost our...
Hey,
how much can you put on their,
they don't, there's no documentation that says what your limit is, which tells me that they don't haven't set a limit yet as far as how many gigabytes. Like Box, it's 15 gigabytes right now. There's no documentation that I found through their help links and getting started. They do specify the file size can't be larger than a certain thing, but in any case. All right, should we jump into the mobile device?
So I'm going to take over Adobe's screen there with the mobile device, at least hopefully.
Do I need to...
Jonathan's promised.
What do I do? Bring this up? Okay.
And I'm going to connect.
Hey.
Mirroring is on, so I am good to go.
All right.
So that's my mobile device you're seeing on the screen right now.
Can I click on anything?
Try not to. Can you make me full screen again? Is that possible?
I guess.
Okay, so I'm just going to open AutoCAD WS on here. It's a free app through the App Store. It's a real easy download. You know, it's just like any other app as far as downloading goes. Again, there's my Box folder. All my files in Box are there. I've downloaded a drawing, a floor plan of Adobe's into actually AutoCAD WS to show you the share feature with that. Again, that's something you can't do with the Box file at this point, but we're hoping in the future. Just like any app, AutoCAD's already updated it twice in the last 3-4 months. So, you know, we're hoping they're going to be improving it constantly. So we're always looking for improvements. So what I'm going to show you here is some slight differences. Again, you saw what his looked like. It looked a lot more like AutoCAD than this does. This looks a little more basic. If I go into the editing tools, you can see there's much fewer editing tools, but again, you can get some real simple drafting done there, drawing circles, drawing polylines, lines, and the such. There is a cloud and text feature. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a drag situation. If I put down a piece of text, it just comes up with the editor, and I can just put in fix and done, and it puts in a piece of text for me. So you see, that's pretty fast and pretty easy to use. It uses all the typical tablet stuff like the zoom and the zoom in and the panning are all with your finger, obviously. Some real minor layer controls. all the drafting you do on the app is on the AutoCAD WS layer. There is no, you can't create a layer in the app. All your layer creation has to happen on the web version. Also, you can't draft on another layer here. You can only draft on the AutoCAD WS layer. What you can do is turn layers on and off. So again, it's a little more basic. One of the keys for me is that if you happen to be dealing with some data that might be 3D, it can be a little slow. So in my case with our base map and all the data that we work with, it's all 2D data. So I just always make sure that on the little eye icon there that I go in and click on the 2D data. It will refresh the drawing when you've changed it, and it'll be much faster. So always check for that. Again, you have those same controls that you had with Adobe's on the net version, where you can see the layouts. You can set some colors. No big deal there. And then the big one I want to show you is the share. That's, I think, the best one. So I want to share this drawing, just this fix area that I just showed, that I just put in with Adobe. And so it just, all I hit was share, and I'm going to put in his email. Adobe app. And my fast typing, Lbre.edu. And that's all it takes. I'm going to say share. And the file's been shared with him.
So I get an email. Is that correct?
Yes.
And hold on a second here.
Now what that does is that shares
I
the
didn't need to do
entire
that.
file with him. It's not sharing just this area. It's sharing the entire file that I have in AutoCAD WS with him.
There it is.
And so he gets an email with a link in it, and he just clicks on that link and goes, and he's in the drawing. The other option in here is to plot it. Right now there's only a couple options. Either no, you won't change the coloring at all, or you can make the entire drawing a grayscale. That's your two choices at this point. You can either plot to a PDF. There are e-printers with some of the HP, the newer HP plotters that you can link to, but you've got to have one of the newer plotters. What we normally use is the PDF. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to do model space. I could be doing it from one of the layouts. I can pick a paper size here from one of the typical. I'm just going to pick an 8.5 by 11. I can either do the entire drawing, or in this case, I'm just going to do the display that I have showing in AutoCAD WS right now. Landscape, I can either fit to paper, or I can pick a scale. Well, not if I've got fit to paper selected. I can actually send him a scaled PDF. Very, very handy. In this case, I'm just going to fit it to paper, and I'm going to plot it. Again, it's going to ask me, who do I want to send that to? I'm going to send it to Adobe at Stanford.edu, and I'm going to send it. You can see it's creating the PDF right now. And so I've just sent him a PDF of that view.
I'd like to also just point out that if you zoom in, there's a text there that he's seeing now that says hi. That's the one that I just recently put in right here.
Right now we're both working in this drawing.
Yeah, so if I just totally disagree with whatever he's saying.
It will hopefully update mine in just a second.
Yeah, there's a little delay, right? Let's find out.
What did you do?
I deleted the has been sent successfully. Oh, you were still trying to send. Can you say okay?
So let's see if you got the PDF.
Should have happened there. So there's the PDF file. Oh. Gotta open this up. That's the drawing.
Yeah, you should have gotten one more.
There it is.
Should just click on the PDF thing there, the icon.
It's do anything.
It's an attachment.
There you go.
There we go. So there's the PDF I sent him. Pretty clean, pretty straightforward. So Brian, I could easily see you out there counting parking spaces or looking at A or C parking and sending an update in to Wilson or myself for this parking lot's a mess. Please fix.
Yeah, I'm not sure why yours is not updating.
What'd you delete?
The cloud that you drew.
It's still there.
Yes. Well,
on yours.
That's yours. This is mine.
Oh.
Anyway.
I don't know.
It was working before. All right. Was there anything else? You did creating the PDF?
Yeah, that's pretty much everything we've got. We kind of rushed through that, I think, a little bit quickly, but any questions or comments or maybe ideas for how you might use it? Yeah, Mark. Oh, sorry, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. Is there a screen refresh in this context? Not that I've seen. What I can do is minimize AutoCAD WS, or I can just say I'm done with it and reopen it. There. So you erased the cloud, right? So,
but we've done it back and forth before, where it's just there's like a 5-10 second delay, but I'm not sure why it's not working now. But something we can maybe even talk with the feedback group, right? They're pretty responsive. One thing I guess I'd like to point out also is
the tutorials.
Yes, you can get to them from the help link. But so there are tutorials. The connecting to box is located here, the one that Jay went through. All right, there is a getting started. They do have videos as well posted, but there's a lot of information in here. It's actually just going through setting up an account, screenshots. So I think it's great. Really, all you got to remember is AutoCADWS.com, and you pretty much got everything right here. Any questions or?
What's the WS stand?
Web service.
Web service. Yeah. World Series.
Yeah, World Series.
Yes, it stands for the World Series. Nothing else?
The measure tool, I saw the measure on that one. Does this work point to point?
You can do distance or area.
Okay.
And you also do have the dimensioning. You have different dimension options here as well.
Do we do the same thing with PDFs as well?
What's that?
Instead of CAD files, PDFs?
It's got to be, you can upload any file type, I believe any file type you want, but you can only do this with the DWG file.
You can only view them.
So the clouding and the marking, that's all?
That's all, yeah, that's all in AutoCAD.
Yes, DWG files. Anything? Yes?
Making multiple edits, is it making multiple files every time you edit, or is it just always saving the same file and back to the timeline?
If the drawing's in box, then you are saving back, when you say done, you're saving back to the original. There is not a versioning in that.
Right, you're overriding the original.
You're overriding. So like for my group, we don't actually keep our originals up there, but it's a quick upload to box, so I keep current drawings in there. And so if they are doing any drafting or any editing or doing clouding, It's not affecting my originals at all.
Mhm. But here's a timeline for this drawing here.
If the drawing's in AutoCAD
And-
WS, there is versioning.
Yeah. There's not too much stuff that was changed over time.
Yes. And you can see they show the timeline up at the top, so you can just easily pick on a previous version.
Yeah. We need to do probably a little bit more testing, because I think it might be on a day base. If we make some changes right now and save it, close it, and I come back in an hour and make changes, it's not creating a timeline for both of those changes. But if I come in tomorrow, then I have the timeline. You can also upload a version to replace it. And I believe you can initially, it will take some time, I think, to run through the process, but you can select a previous version to make that one the most current version as well. Yes?
So Jay, since you guys are always updating the civil base map and the utility base map drawings, is there a way to access it on our phones in AutoCAD WS rather than putting it in Box and then opening it up that way, so that we always have the latest and greatest?
What happens is we're going to keep the utilities in Box because of the security issues. That's been decided by the utilities group already, by
So
Tom.
How do I access the one that's always updated?
That would be, you'd go in through AutoCAD WS and go through the link. Here, I can show you. Let me just... So that's my link to Box. And so in our folder called Base Map, these are the latest utilities.
Okay.
So you would link that way, and you can do it through your phone. I've got the utilities on my phone.
Okay.
So you still use AutoCAD WS. You go through the Box link, though. But what that does...
So if I open up a Box account, and you guys have already sent me stuff on Box before, but if I open up an account, I'll have access to that folder?
No.
The utilities?
I control the security on that folder, and so you would have to request those permissions from me.
Okay.
What we've done is, in order to see them in AutoCAD WS, you actually have to be able to download them. That's a requirement of AutoCAD WS. So not everyone's going to get access to every file because of that download. But what it does give you, Brian, is if you've downloaded it already and you don't have an internet or a phone connection, you can still look at the utilities. So if you're in a basement and you need to look at something in your AutoCAD WS, it's actually on your device. So you'll still be able to look at it. So for certain people, like Brian, you'll have obviously access to the utilities, but some other groups won't.
Anything else? No? You're free to grab one cookie only on the way out.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot.